Hello everyone, Juicebags here, and welcome back to another Tekkit tutorial for Minecraft 1.5.1. Now, last episode we talked about refining fuel and building our spaceship, the NASA workbench, and then I mentioned that there's no oxygen on the moon, so you're pretty well screwed once you get there if you don't have yourself set up. Now, a few things you want to bring along is an oxygen mask. You're going to make an oxygen mask just using 8 glass panes and 1 iron helmet is going to get you your oxygen mask. Then you need oxygen gear. Oxygen gear is going to be 5 oxygen pipes and an oxygen concentrator. That'll make your oxygen gear for you. And an oxygen tank. There's 3 different types. I'm choosing the heavy oxygen tank for this tutorial, as that is probably what I'll be using on my survival series. So you're going to create that with 3 red wool, 3 tin canisters, and 3 lead ingots. Now let's go on and get along to some of the machines you're going to need to get your oxygen tanks filled up and ready to go. Now, of course, we see I started to fill this oxygen tank and then stopped. We've got some oxygen pipe. Oxygen pipe is going to be created with 6 glass panes. You're going to need a bunch of that. An oxygen bubble distributor. What this is it allows you to put out a little oxygen bubble once you get to the moon, where you can stand in freely once you're there and not have to worry about suffocation. An oxygen compressor, which is going to be used to fill our oxygen tanks. An oxygen collector, which is going to gather the oxygen from the atmosphere. And then you're going to have to shear off some leaves, as we're going to have to bring some leaves with us to the moon, as there's no oxygen there. But first things first, let's go ahead and get our oxygen tank filled. So we want to pop down an oxygen collector first. We see the oxygen going on into it. You see there's plenty of oxygen here, so not much of an issue. Now we're going to send that over to an oxygen compressor. We're going to connect the 2 with an oxygen pipe. Now we are going to need some power. So let's go ahead and power up our oxygen collector. It's active. Let's take a look at the oxygen compressor. No valid oxygen tank. So we want to go ahead and put our empty heavy oxygen tank there, and that's going to start to fill. Now I do need another source of power, so we'll just snag that redstone energy cell there, and then we see our oxygen compressor is filling. If you look down at the heavy oxygen tank there, it is slowly but surely moving on up. So that is how you fill your oxygen tanks. You're going to need to bring along some oxygen tanks, of course. Bring along some spares too if you don't have your oxygen bubble distributor ready to go. So let's go ahead and blast off to the moon, and we'll jump on forward. Alright, so we're just about ready to go. You see I've got the 2 filled heavy oxygen tanks now. Now I forgot to mention also you're going to want a parachute. You create a parachute using just 3 canvas and 3 string. And let's go ahead and get to the moon, huh? Very noisy takeoff here. Alright, so we are in orbit, and of course we want to go to the moon. And you can slow your velocity as you're falling. And you will slowly fall down to the moon. And here we see we're getting close. The chunks are loading. Let's go ahead and hop on out, parachute down the rest of the way. Alright. So you see the two bars up there to the left of the screen. That is the our oxygen tanks. As there is no oxygen here, if I took those tanks off, things are going to go very, very poorly for me. And you see we got some extremely low gravity going here. But let's go ahead and see, in there is our spaceship, our rocket launch pad, and a partially filled fuel container, which will get us back home. But let's go ahead and take a look at our oxygen bubble distributor. Why don't we go ahead and just head right on down into this little crater here, and we'll set up base right here. So we want an oxygen bubble distributor. We're going to have to turn that around just a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to need an oxygen collector, of course. I'm going to go ahead and put that a ways away because I need to basically cover the oxygen collector with the leaves. That is where our leaves are going to come from. Let's see, let's give it a little power. Not enough leaf blocks. No leaf blocks. How about that? And let's get another. Okay, so all we're missing really is oxygen. We're going to get that from the leaf blocks. So let's go ahead and completely coat this bad boy with some leaves, pardon me. And as you see to my left there, our oxygen bubble is building. I know I plan on building up quite the little luxury getaway on the moon on my survival series. Let's just go ahead and call it good there. You see we've got a nice oxygen bubble. So now at this point, let's go ahead and get outside of the bubble here. Alright, we're outside of the bubble. Let's go ahead and take off our oxygen tanks, and you see we're just immediately taking damage. So we want to get back on in, and inside we're fine. We don't require the oxygen. So thanks for watching. Click that like button and please subscribe to the channel. There will be more Tekkit tutorials coming soon. If there's anything that anyone wants to know about Tekkit, or wants to see me experimenting a little with some of the new mods in the Tekkit Mod Pack for 1.5.1, please put it in the comments below. Thanks again.